Get ready with me as I tell you guys 10 things I wish I did back in nursing school. I just wish I figured that out sooner. You should not be under any circumstances. Let me tell you guys so you guys don't make the same mistake that I did. What's really important, especially for nursing school, and what I wish I did, I would have had way better grades if I stuck to that since my first year of nursing school. So effective. Believe me, not everything they teach you. I wish I took them more seriously because now that I'm studying for the boards, hey, it's Ellie and welcome back to my channel. So I was just doing my thing, just kind of getting ready for the day, when suddenly this video idea popped into my head and I was like, yo, I gotta do this. And of course, I was inspired by all of the TikToks that I see on my For You page. You know, the ones that are like, get ready with me as I tell you guys things about myself that you didn't know. So today's a makeup video, but you guys will get a lot out of this video, especially if you are a nursing student, currently, post-grad, or incoming. Please watch this video and please share it because I promise you, your girl has got a lot of tea to serve today. So without further ado, Barefaced Ellie, take it away. Okay, you guys, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I wish I did before was I wish I figured out what my style of learning is. So if you guys don't know, everyone has different styles of learning, okay? There are visual learners, there are people who like to learn like with audio, there's people who like to learn by themselves or with a group of people, and I just wish I figured that out sooner. And to be honest, as I'm studying for the boards, I'm just now figuring it out for myself, and I think I'm leaning more towards like, I'm more of a visual and audio kind of person. I like watching videos, I like hearing it. I especially like videos compared to live people teaching me, because I like to pause the video and take the time to absorb it and make sure I know and understand what the person in the video is saying. I just find that way more effective for me. I genuinely think that that's just so much more better for me rather than a live class, because when you're in a live class you can't pause the teacher or the professor. You can't pause what they're saying, and although professors always say like, you know, just let me know if I'm going too fast, if I'm going too slow, I just can't do that every 5 minutes, you guys. I have to be able to pause the video, write things down, and see if I understand what they're actually saying, if I absorb the information, if I understand it correctly. That's just how I learn better. So I wish you guys can figure that out for yourselves as well, because the sooner that you figure that out for yourself, the smoother it will be for you in nursing school. If I had only just figured out how I learn, it would have been way easier for me. I personally have a friend where you just give her the reviewer, she reads it, and boom, she understands, and she just memorizes it on the spot. I can't do that. I realized very late that I'm not that kind of learner. I now know that I'm a very visual learner. I like to take things slow. I also like audio. I like being able to take my time. So yes, please, for the love of nursing, please figure out what your style of learning is right now. If you haven't started, or if you don't know, you need to figure that out right now. It'll help you throughout the rest of nursing school. It will help you post-grad as you study for your boards. And I'm pretty sure it'll help you for the rest of your career, because nursing is a never-ending learning process. Okay, I completely lost where I am with my makeup. I'm gonna put on primer now. Number 2, I wish I mastered note-taking. If you guys are on any kind of social media platform, be it Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, and you follow all of those aesthetic feeds, you guys would probably see all of these people who have such aesthetic notes. They're just so beautiful, and they're just not the kind of notes that you would want to highlight and annotate all over. That's the kind of girl I was trying to be in college. I was trying to be that girl with the really nice notes, with like calligraphy and like really good handwriting. It's just so aesthetic, so neat to look at. Yeah, I'm not that kind of note taker anymore. I'm honestly a mix. I really try to do handwritten notes, but sometimes when the teacher or when the professor is talking really fast, it's just not practical for me. I don't get to write everything that she or he says, and I just end up typing it. But however, there are cases where typing your notes alone is not very helpful, for me at least. It's actually scientifically proven that when you handwrite your notes, they stick stick to your brain more. Also, when it comes to note-taking, you guys, this is kind of hard to practice, okay? Until now, I'm still trying to master this, but you need to know what are the only things you should be writing down or typing on that piece of paper. Because I know nursing school lectures can be very long, and sometimes it is an information overload. It's kind of hard to filter what information is important and what isn't. I would try my best to listen for the professor's words where they usually say, guys, write this down, or you have to remember this, or when you realize that they're emphasizing on a certain topic, that's the kind of notes you should be taking down. You should not be, under any circumstances, writing down the notes word for word, because what happens is you end up writing more instead of listening and understanding what the professor is actually saying. Please master your note-taking. Please try your best to filter out what's important. And also along with that, it's really helpful when you share notes with your classmates or friends, because they might have written down something that you didn't catch, and it's really helpful if you want to have more complete notes. But please do not be out here writing down notes more than listening to the professor. That is a big mistake that I made. I wish I had listened more rather than trying to write everything down and learn it myself later. But there are going to be some cases wherein the professor will actually give their slides or their PowerPoints, and my note-taking for that is different. So for example, we have a professor that gives out their slides, or they have a handout that we can follow along with. My style of note-taking is annotation. I wanted this video to be like a, hey, just FaceTiming with my bestie kind of vibe, but it's really hard to talk while doing your makeup. Shout out to all my makeup gurus out there who can do this, because it's hard. But like I was saying, if I was given a PowerPoint, slides, or any handout that the professor gives to follow along with, I annotate. So basically when they have slides, I like to circle, highlight, underline, and all of that jazz, and write down the easiest way that the professor explained the concept. So based on my experience, there are professors, and I really appreciate these kinds of profs, but the professors who really find a way to make the concept easier for the brain. I encircle the concept on the slide or on the handout, I draw an arrow, and I write down exactly how the professor explained it so that I can remember later on when I try to study myself. So yeah, that's just how I have been taking my notes now, and I really wish I did that in nursing school. I'm slowly forgetting where I am at with my makeup. I need a mirror for this. Let me just finish the cream products before I tell you guys the next tip, because I look kind of wonky. You know what's just so great? Whenever I want to film a video, my neighbor suddenly decides to start doing some kind of construction, and it's just so amazing. Like, what a coinkydink. You having to do construction while I wanted to film a video? Oh my gosh, the timing is just so perfect. That is it for my cream products. Anyways, my third tip, I wish I established a study routine. I just wish I had a stable process, you know? Like, okay, you go to school and there's a lecture, and take notes the way that I said earlier. And then after that, like, what do you do? How do you study what you just learned? Because there are probably some of us, or a lot of us, wherein after the lecture, okay, you take down all of these notes, and then you put them away and you don't bring them out again until finals, or like when there's exams. Based on experience, and let me tell you guys so you guys don't make the same mistake that I did, please practice active recall. Please practice active recall. Active recall is basically where you just constantly test yourself or review certain topics so that you can slowly build up your long-term memorization. Because I mean, yeah, it is effective sometimes where you study one subject, right, for like a whole night so that you can remember it for a test or a quiz the next morning, and after you take that quiz or test, the next day, it's gone, like boom. They're not in your head anymore and you can't remember when you have to. What's really important, especially for nursing school, and what I wish I did, is that I wish I built on my long-term memorization. I wish I practiced active recall, which brings me to my fourth tip. I wish I used more flashcards or study sets. And this is not sponsored, but I'm pretty sure you guys all know our good friend Quizlet. But I mean, Quizlet, if you want to sponsor me, then that's completely fine. I'm free. When I had a little bit more time, I used to make study flashcards all the time for like those minor subjects we had back in high school, like English or science and all those easy subjects back in the day that I miss so much. But I remember back then I had bomb grades. I had such good grades because of studying with flashcards. They're just a little bit more harder to use in nursing school because there are just so many topics, there's so many concepts and so much information that you need to know. It's kind of hard to make flashcards for all of them. But I mean, you reap what you sow, right? So if I had just taken the time and worked hard at it, the results would have been amazing for me. I'm telling you, I would have had way better grades if I stuck to that since my first year of nursing school. So let me tell you this now, if you're an incoming nursing student or whatever year you are in nursing, please use active recall. The best way to study for active recall for me personally is flashcards, but I promise you active recall is so effective. You'll be able to stock up more information for the long term. I'm very passionate about that, guys. I really wish I did that. I really wish I did that. So that's why I'm making this video, you guys, to tell you so that you can do this for me. I'm like your big sister or your mom. Like, I wish I did this when I was younger. So please listen. Please listen. Okay, where am I with my makeup? Which then takes me to my 5th tip. I wish that I knew understanding is greater than memorization. Now, don't get me wrong, you have to memorize in whatever course you're taking, subject, whatever grade you're in. But when it comes to nursing, memorization is not enough. We are nurses and we are handling the lives of other people, okay? Memorizing equations or memorizing information is not gonna get you far, especially with a person's life. So besides memorizing concepts or like normal lab values, or whatever kind of information, you have to make sure that you understand what you're learning as well, not just memorizing it. And take it from me, because there are times where I did study, but all I did was memorize. I was like, yo, I got this down. I am going to ace this quiz because I memorized everything. However, when I took the exam, I was like, what? That was not on the reviewer. That was not what they taught us. Girl, in nursing, believe me, not everything they teach you is what's gonna show up on the exam, okay? That's not gonna happen. That is a walk in the park if that's what nursing was like. What they're gonna do is, yes, they teach you the concepts and how things work during the lectures, but when it comes to exams and quizzes, situational. Most of the time, the questions are like, Mr. Juan de la Cruz has this condition and he's feeling these symptoms and he has these vital signs. What is the best nursing intervention? Okay, there is no information that you could have just memorized in order to answer that question. You have to be able to understand whatever concepts are involved so that you can answer that question. And I wish I practiced that more. I'm actually doing that now. I'm trying my best to apply that as I'm studying for the board exams because, you guys, board exams, all situational. Not all, I don't know. Okay, I haven't taken it yet. But more than likely, and also when it comes to like school, tests, quizzes, exams in nursing school, they're gonna be situational. Because obviously when you're a working nurse, you are gonna be in different situations. There are different cases, different patients to handle, okay? And they're all different. They have all different kinds of diseases, conditions, symptoms, vital signs, and you need to pull out all of the concepts that you learned in nursing school and mush them together in order to make the perfect decision for that patient. No pressure. So if you practice understanding the concepts more than memorizing, that's gonna be way better for you in the long run. Tip number 6, I wish I had more serious group study sessions. I do not know how I would have survived nursing school without my friends. Because in nursing school, it should be and we're all in this together kind of vibe, okay? I don't understand why in college there are still people who are toxic, who aren't down for helping other people. I mean, it's not your obligation, right? But there are just still people out there in college who are so competitive. They still want to be the best. They don't want anyone else to do better than them. Please don't be that person. That being said, I wish I had more study sessions or group study sessions. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't have it that much because one, I'm not always going out of the house, okay? I'm the kind of kid, I'm still a kid, you guys. I know, I'm 21. But I'm not the kind of kid who can just go out whenever they want, you know, who can just, hey mom, gotta go, gonna leave. That's not how it works here in this Asian household. And I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me. There's a lot of us who are in this kind of setup. And it works fine for me, you know. I'm also the kind of person who doesn't like to go out much. I like my alone time, I like my room, I like my house. There are a lot of students out there who were able to have a lot of study sessions like in coffee shops, with their friends, and I wish I did that more. But when I was allowed to have sleepovers with my friends, do you honestly think that we had like straight hours of purely studying? That's a no. But we did study, it just wasn't for the whole night, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, mom. However, now that I am studying for the boards, I was studying cardiology with my friend Aubrey just the other day, and she explained it to me so simply. She explained it to me so simply, and I was like, wait, we have to study more, like together. It was just so nice because it's like, you know, someone who has the same amount of workload as you learn how to study something easier, or they were able to explain something easier to you. It benefits me. It's great when you get different perspectives from other students or other kids who are studying the same thing you are, because they might have understood something in a way that you didn't catch. They might have figured out a way to memorize something easier. It's just great to get different kind of perspectives from other students. Just make sure that you guys are not distracted. Make sure that you're actually studying. Tip number 7, I wish I did a little bit more advanced reading. And I'm not talking like serious, intense advanced reading, like studying way beforehand. I'm talking just like a light, you know, briefing through the subject. So if your school gives you a syllabus, I'd keep that around. Because I didn't. Before in school, I did not keep. I don't even know where our syllabus was. So if I were you and your school gives you a syllabus, please keep that around, because that is what's going to tell you what week you'll be studying what topic. And so you'll be able to advance read. And like I said, you don't have to have like intense advanced reading where you have to pressure yourself into knowing everything before the professor teaches you. I'm just saying, just brief through the topic. If you already know what topic you're going to be talking about, you can just look at it, you know, on YouTube. You can search it up. So you just have a little bit of a background information and knowledge before the professor goes on to expound it. You can look at the subject or the topic in your textbooks. You can search it up. We have so many resources that you can use, so please use that to your advantage. Okay, nursing school is information overload. There's a lot of things to learn, there's a lot of things to study, so I feel like doing a little bit of light advanced reading can kind of lighten the load. Okay, I need to do my mascara, you guys. Give me a second, I cannot think while I'm putting on mascara. I forgot my highlighter. My 8th tip is, I wish I took certain subjects a little more seriously in nursing school. Let's be honest, let's be completely transparent here. Your girl is not the smartest girl in the world, okay? She's not the smartest girl in nursing school. I'm not a valedictorian, I didn't graduate cum laude, but she passed, she graduated, okay? However, there are some subjects in nursing that I really wish I took seriously, like way more seriously. Like even if I did graduate and I did pass these classes, I wish I took them more seriously, because now that I'm studying for the boards, I realize that may mga subjects talaga that are more important to know. Don't get me wrong, all nursing subjects are important, but there are just some subjects that I wish I took more seriously. Now, I'm gonna make a different video about that because I have a lot more to expound on when it comes to that topic. Let me give you an example, pharmacology. I did pass pharmacology. The professor was really good, but oh, I wish I took it more seriously. How I wish I took it more seriously. Pharmacology is something that y'all nurses gotta know. We gotta know this. We have to know what certain medications we need to be giving to the patient depending on their condition. We need to know whether or not this is good for the patient based on their situation. Like, is this gonna contraindicate anything that the patient is doing? Medications are important, and we have to make sure that we don't make an error when it comes to administering or planning for a patient's care. medication is very important, so I wish I took pharmacology more seriously. That's just an example, but I have way more to give you guys, so just watch out for my future video. Number 9, I wish I was just a little bit more proactive during clinical rotations, or duty. Haha, she said duty. Now don't get me wrong, your girl was active. She was as active as she could be during her clinical rotations. Yeah, your girl was just trying to be as helpful as she can, because of course I want to get as much experience as I can. So this is not something I wish I did because I already did it, but let me just tell you guys that if you are currently having clinical rotations, please be as proactive as you can. Get as much experience as you can. Take it from me, a nursing student who had to go through more than half of nursing school online. So if you have the opportunity to go to clinical rotation, please get as much experience as you can. I promise you, being able to apply what you learn in theory in class, it will help you so much. I promise you, it'll stick to your brain even more when you start actually applying what you learn. And even if you don't have anything to do, here's another thing. Back when we had clinical rotations, it was really tiring, okay? I remember my first clinical rotation, we were all over the place. This was our very first rotation. I was using a Doppler on a pregnant woman, trying to hear for the fetal heart tones. I was taking vital signs for so many patients. I was over here getting called to help with, assisting with a woman's pregnancy. I was out here assisting with labor. We were all over the place, okay? We were all over the place. So we just sat down whenever we could because it was so tiring. And I'm not saying don't rest, but it's also a really good idea if you have nothing to do, just walk around. Like if you can, if you have that ability, or like if you have the permission to walk around the health facility, just kind of see what everyone's doing, trying to adapt or trying to absorb everything that's going on around you, because that's the kind of facility you'll be working in once you're a registered nurse. So just get used to your surroundings already is what I'm trying to say. So if you have time, or it's a very slow day during your clinical rotation, you have nothing to do, feel free to ask your CI if you can help with anything, if you can help with, like, I don't know. There was this one time where we had free time and this one nurse offered if I wanted to watch her performing an NGT insertion. And I believe my other classmates were getting ready to have their lunch, but when the nurse offered if I wanted to watch, I was like, sure, I want to see how it works, because it's just the more you know, the more you know, the better. Just take every learning opportunity that you can have in the field. Again, don't be afraid to ask. Well, just ask your CI, because they're the ones who are in charge of you. Ask your CI or your clinical instructor if you can help with anything. There are times where your CI will just go up to you and say, hey, check this out, or let's watch this procedure. Just go with it. Watch everything you can, observe, help with whatever you can, and you'll get the most out of your clinical rotations. And lastly, also my last step for my makeup is number 10. I wish I knew beforehand that nursing doesn't have to be toxic. I feel like, yes, nursing is overwhelming. There is a lot to be done. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of information, and it's just a full plate when you're nursing, especially because we are handling human beings. We're handling people's lives. Literally dealing with life and death situations here. But, hold on. It's just so normalized nowadays how toxic nursing or whatever course may be. There are gonna be times where you're gonna wanna break down. There are gonna be times where you're just gonna cry your heart out because you don't understand something, or it's too overwhelming and you think you can't do it. And I understand all of your feelings are valid. I felt all of those things throughout my 4 years of nursing, but hey, we graduated. So I just want to tell you guys that you don't have to be so hard on yourself, okay? And there are things that we can do to make it a little bit less toxic, to make the load a little bit lighter. And that's why I'm making this video, you guys. So if you want to help yourself, please listen to all these tips that I'm giving you. Please watch my past videos, okay? This is not for clout. I really plan on making videos that help nursing students. I'm here for you guys because I have been in your position. I had a hard time, but I was able to go through it. Now it's my time to tell you what got me through it and what I could have done and what makes it easier. This is why I'm here, and I'm here for you guys because I don't want you guys to have a toxic time. I don't want you guys to have a hard time. Instead, I want to equip you with the tips or whatever tricks you need so that it can be easier for you, okay? Nursing doesn't have to be toxic, but you do have to take certain steps that may be really hard, that may be overwhelming, but I promise you, in the end, it will be so much better for you, okay? Things will be easier. So please follow these tips that I'm giving you. The title of this video is 10 things I wish I did. I wish I did these things, okay? I'm telling you, as a fresh nursing graduate who is preparing for the board exams, please do these things. If I had done these things, my nursing journey would have been a little bit lighter, and I wish it was, because nursing is a lot. So please share this video to whoever you think this might help. If you know nursing students, if you have a class group chat with all of your nursing students or classmates in it, please share this, because I need you guys to know these things, okay? I was literally doing my own thing when this video popped into my head. It was like, Alicia, you need to make this video. You need to tell them these things. This is very important information that I wish you knew based on my experience, okay? Not all of our experiences are the same, but if you found me now and if you are subscribed to my channel, everything that I'm telling you is based off solely on my experience. That being said, this is the final look. So let me end this video with a scripture. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 58. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, be steadfast, immovable, always excelling in Yahweh's work, because you know that your labor in him is not in vain. So if you guys like this video and this makeup look, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social media right here. I'm Ellie, you've got this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!